What's up? What's up? All right, and we are live. What's up, my friends? So today we're going to be covering a lot of the same stuff we did on the last one, which was, say you were a customer at Bonsai, or you had your own Bonsai site and you wanted to learn how to go in and customize it so that it was your own site. And that's going to be a constant evolving process because I'm going to be working on the UX. Over the past year or so that I've been doing these streams, we've been focused on what your customer would see landing on the site and the user experience. And now I'm starting to work on the Bonsai customer experience. So customizing the site and using it and improving all of that. So I'm going to be doing a lot of these explanation tutorials on how to do this, but today I'm probably going to start with doing some customizations. We're going to evolve the process to the point where it's really smooth. And right now it's done on the WordPress backend. So we're using WordPress to be able to control all of these customizations, but using the WordPress API and some other cool stuff, we'll eventually be able to make this all on the front end editable. So I see you'd have an edit button somewhere on around the area you want to edit, or on the page you would have an edit button, and then it would allow you to come in and actually change the text and stuff like that. We're not quite there yet, so this is the current process. Now, let me just get logged in real quick. Here you see the WordPress backend. And last time we built this global settings option right here. So we go and do global settings. You have the logo. We're going to be adding some more stuff to that down the road. In the head, this is where you would put your head code, which is like analytic tracking code, stuff like Google Analytics. Modals, this is where we will have like more global modals. So if there's ones more specific on pages, then you'd edit those on the actual page itself. But if there's one that goes across the whole website, it's global, then we'll be adding those here. Navbar, you can enable and disable different navbar pages that are linked up here. And then we have the footer, which is just some social media links and icons, and then enabling, disabling those pages. So that's how far we've gone so far. I'm going to come in and make some adjustments, improve on that user experience. And then I'm going to run through it all again. So, first thing I want to do is I want to change this from global settings to calling it Bonsai settings. So we're going to jump into where we created this last time. This was located under your project, site, web, app, themes, Bonsai, resources, app, admin, and this is it right here. That's what creates that. And here you see global settings, menu title, menu slug. Now, what we'll do is just grab these, rename it to Bonsai, Bonsai settings, head settings, mobile window settings. It's a little long, but navbar settings, footer settings. Okay, let's see what that does. Uh-oh, see, I am on our staging site. I need to go to our local site right now. One thing I was going to show real quick was this new review section that I've added. So with that, you come into pages, and it can be customized differently on every page. So if you want to do it on the home page, we'll go here. Collapse that. Alright, so right under reviews, this is actually supposed to be right there. So you'll see that this is blank. Reviews heading is blank, and right now that's what's controlling incognito, so I'll be signed in. So this review section is located right in between here, and on Bonsai right now I haven't collected any reviews for it yet because I haven't had too many customers yet. It's been some different custom builds up to this point, but eventually I will be adding some reviews, and I have a customer that wants reviews, so I thought I'd build that in but disable it on my version, but it would automatically be enabled on someone else's version. So check this out. If we come into here and we put in reviews, you can name it whatever you want. Click update. Oops. Come to this window and refresh. And here you see a couple of reviews. I'll be adding more to the section so that you could add more if you want, but for now we're going to start with just 2, keep it simple, and then there's kind of a little summary that you could build over here, just about general credibility or some more information. So the only thing that controls that is whether that text is there or not. So if I come back and remove that, click update, refresh, you'll see it's gone. And that's how most of this stuff is working that you can disable, like these 2 boxes down here. You can disable, I believe, these questions, and I think this button. There's a few things you can disable like that. Eventually I'll probably build in like a global control for that, which is, let's go in local and start working on some of this stuff. Alright, so one other thing I'll probably work on today is, you see this this dashboard. This is what I mean by improving the experience. So right now this just links to, you can edit posts, full dashboard, log out. It's really basic. And I want to add some more options to that, something that would take you just to Bonsai settings alone. So if I go to full dashboard, and if I go to global settings, and I thought that actually should have changed because I saved this. Maybe it broke because that was just the slug. Maybe I'll change all these to Bonsai. It still didn't update. That doesn't make sense to me. Oh, I'm in the wrong project at the moment. That's why. Once again, site, web, app, themes, Bonsai, app, admin. Here we go. I'm just gonna take all of this and put, I guess I'll separate because I want them capitalized right here. Bonsai settings, and then all these to Bonsai. Save that. Let's come back and see what happens. And I can't view this page because this changed to Bonsai settings. Should have. Ooh. That changed some stuff too. Where's that controlled? I think you go into custom fields, and then I'll come into like global settings. You wouldn't have to do this, but if you were changing the name of it, you might. Huh. So it says Bonsai settings right there. I might have to re-update it. There we go. All right. And then I'm going to rename this to Bonsai settings as well. Or I might just call that logos for now. That's kind of arbitrary at the moment because I don't really know what I'm going to all put in there. So it doesn't really matter. All right, let me just make sure these other ones are still working. Yep. Okay, cool. So that was the first thing I did. Now we're going to come into the dashboard part, which is under Bonsai, resources, views, partials, modals, dashboard. Post forgot password, full dashboard. That's only for a guest forgot password? That doesn't make sense. Oh, I guess it does. Because if you're logged in, then you didn't forget your password. Full dashboard, log out. So for now, I'll just duplicate full dashboard. And I'm going to put Bonsai settings. And then this will take you to Now we could probably dynamically grab this slug somehow. But that'll do. That'll do at the moment. So let's go see if that popped up. A little slow. Bonsai settings. Okay. That just makes it a little easier for someone to navigate there from the front end. The other thing I want to do is add some icons to those. It'll just look way more professional. In Google, when you click on their kind of settings, windows, little drop downs, they always have nice little icons in there. Let's see. Apple doesn't. At least in this top bar, but you'll see they do have a lot of icons in the sidebar. I don't know, I think it would just look more professional with some icons. So one thing I'm going to do is show how to go in and edit these icons. Now, there's the developer way of doing this, which is like hard coding the icons into it and only loading the icons that we're using, so that we're not loading a whole library of icons that aren't being used, because that can slow things down. So, which way should we cover today? I think I'll cover yeah, the developer version right now, and then towards the end of this stream, I'll cover the non-developer way of doing things. So let me just add some icons in there. We need to grab them from FontAwesome, which is the library that I'm using. It's best integrated with the Roots software. So we have 6.1.1 right here. I'm going to go to 5.15.4. We're going to grab an edit icon. Any will do. Probably this one, because I think this is a regular solid FAS. Yeah. So I could copy this code snippet. Yeah, that's how I'll do it. Okay, so right here on edit posts, I'm going to just paste that right here, and then we're going to add some Bootstrap CSS to give us some padding, which is MR2, margin right 2, edit posts. Now, I forgot password. I don't really think that needs an icon, but it would look weird if it didn't. So we could just use a question mark maybe. let's see, what did I use in the FAQ? Question marks. Okay, yeah, there is a FontAwesome icon I can use for that. I'll probably want to mute these as well for now. Question circle. Okay, and then for create account, there's probably one like that. Not add. Yeah, we want user plus. That's perfect. We'll use the MR2 and the mute. So we can grab the dashboard. Let's see. Just remember which one that is. I think it's this one. MR2 mute, Bonsai settings. Kind of want to use a little Bonsai icon for this. Let's just go grab that in the head, in the header. Which is customized by a theme now, so it's just logo option. It's actually customized right here in the Bonsai settings. Okay. Log out. I thought I did have something already in here like that. It's like exit or something. Let's see. Sign out. Sign out alt. I feel like I have one of these I'm using. Okay. Page, edit, create a post. Those are some other ones that I was playing around with, but we want this to show up for not just administrators. We'll probably have it show up for, let's see, what would the other role be? Administrator works for now. So a Bonsai customer would be an administrator of their own site. Because I do call them admin accounts. That would only make sense. Alright, most of these probably aren't going to show up because, like I said, in the developer way of doing this, we gotta specify that we want it to be loaded like this. The dashboard one should at least be showing up, and the Bonsai settings, so something's telling me it's not loading. I'm gonna log in from the local host. Yeah, I already have this one up here as well. Yeah, we need to apply some how can we contain that? Let's go back to the header real quick. We might have had I think it's custom CSS though, which makes that a little difficult. What if we put it inside of that? Inside of brand. I need to make an easier way to do that. I'll make this just a div or something. Okay, in theory that should fix that. And then we just need to grab these, so I'll show you how to do that. This is how to do the icons for developers. So we go into assets, scripts, routes, common. Now this is a little more technical, but it does give us the best load times and performance. So we have 3 different font packs we're loading in. One is, let's see, we go to the end, free solid SVG. So that's the solid pack. And then this one is the regular pack. This one is the brands pack. So when you see FAS, that is for solid. FontAwesome solid. Now, let's see, our first one, FA edit. We come into here. I usually just throw it at the back of the line here. FA edit. And then I'll find wherever campground is, and I'll add that right behind it, so they stay kind of in order. Now this is where you actually call it. So this is where you're grabbing it from the library, and this is where you actually call the icon. So you need to do it in 2 different places. I'm gonna hit save. And that should show up. It's infinite reloading. That's just wonderful. close that. Go into iTerm. Close this yarn run start and run it again. Cool, that is there. Edit post. The tachometer. This doesn't really look that great there. I wonder if I could just grab something that could be used. I could just use a cog, honestly. Do I have a cog yet? I'll type in settings. I just don't want to have to deal with styling it at the moment because that's a whole nother section of a tutorial. So let's use this one. And it's called cog, right? Do we have that? Nope. So that is a solid as well, so we'll throw it in the same spot at the end of the line. And then right after FA edit right here. Click save. And that should show up. No, I need to put that in here. So instead of this logo, I'm just going to say FA cog, add the MR2 in the mute. So these are just little custom classes we already have set up that can style it. I'm willing to cover that right now, but not actually going into writing the SCSS. Cover that down the road sometime. Okay, that hasn't updated yet, but it should work. And then as for logout, let's see, what is that one called again? FA, so it's FAS, we know it's the solid, and then FA sign out. So we're using something called camel case in here. So we're just taking the CSS class and doing camel casing, which means the first word is not capitalized. The second and every word thereafter is no space, but capitalized. Alrighty. And it seems like I broke something. Let's take a look at this process. FA sign out was not found in free solid SVG. I think, do we have sign out all in there? No, I think sign out alt might have been a free one originally. Recently they opened up some more free ones, I believe. Let's check that out. Okay, let's try sign out alt. For some reason that rings a bell to me. Just add alt right there, and then the CSS class is a dash alt. And the icons are back, so it seems like it might have worked. Some Sometimes these icons are slow loading in when we're calling them with JavaScript. There we go. All right, and that'll do. I can improve upon that as we go, but that's basically how I'm building this out. One other thing I might do is add those options right here as well. So I haven't decided where I'm going to put each of them, because eventually this dashboard is just going to have the actual dashboard right here and not be external links to different parts of the dashboard. So for now, I might keep them both, but put these in both places just to make it easier for people to find, because this is how people navigate on mobile. And yeah, I'll be changing this down the road, but I think that's good for today. Showed how to do some of the developer icons, and then later on I'm going to show how we can turn that into, well, we could do that right now, but I don't really think those need to be editable at the moment. Those are going to stay pretty solid. You know, in last tutorial I actually covered how you would go in and customize the icons, so that's already covered. I don't really need to cover that again, but this time we covered on the developer side of things, so that's cool. You know, I know these tutorials are pretty boring sometimes, but I'm not really trying to make them entertaining. I'm trying to document every different part of this project that I've worked on, so that in the future when I have people coming to me saying like, how do I change this, how do I do that, how do I add that, how do I remove that, I can say, well, let me pull this up. It looks like on day 86 I touched on how to call the icons with JavaScript. If you want to see how to customize them from the WordPress backend, I covered that on day 85. So that's pretty cool. Just look at my notes real quick. Yeah, the one thing I actually didn't cover last time is what I'm gonna do if somebody not a developer wants to come in here and add custom icons. What you would do in that situation is you would come to, let's see what start says. We just want like an HTML option. Link FontAwesome HTML. That's just where I was. Whoa, this is a way old version, version 3. It's going to be similar to this. We're going to just want to copy that, but let's just search for FontAwesome 5 CDN. Here we go. So technically you could link to whatever version you wanted, like if you wanted to use the newer versions of FontAwesome. But eventually we're probably going to want to go in and have us optimize that. So right now, just for the sake of it, Bonsai is on version 5. Which version is it actually? We could come in and find out the exact version under node modules. We should be able to tell in here. Is there a version number? Just see 5. I guess we could also see the version in the composer, I believe. .4. Cool. So we're going to find version 15.4. And then these are the individual ones. So if you wanted to use all, you would just use this top one. That would be the easiest in most cases if you didn't know which different packages you're going to be using. If you're going to be using brands, like you just need social media icons like YouTube, Instagram, etc., you just want to take that one minimized right here. So all right, looks like that one is as well. But what is this one? FontAwesome, then we have regular and solid. We're just going to copy this one for now. Looks like we're just going to have a style sheet. So this is where you'd go into your head settings under Bonsai settings. And then right here, I'm going to, let's see, I'll just copy this right here, or this one actually. Paste that, and then this is the path. We're just going to put this link to the CDN in here. And that's going to slow things down, so we don't want to do this permanently, but this is probably the best way to customize things. I'll probably make it so you could just enable that with a checkbox, actually. Okay, we'll do that another day if we need to, but let's test that out. So if we wanted to change to an icon that we've never used before, that should work now. And I'm just going to test that out by copying a random icon that I know I've never used. I'll put it right next to the close button right here. Click save. Now this needs to be updated. It looks like it is. Oops, let's come in to localhost and refresh. So slow. It's given me a question mark right there, which means that it's not grabbing it correctly. let's inspect. Gonna come into head, see what we got in here. For some reason this thing's still loading. Alright, this is gonna piss me off. So I know I say this every stream, but the reason it's slow right now is because I'm streaming, not because the software is slow. It's too much for my MacBook to stream and develop at the same time. Test this again. Still missing. Why is it missing? Okay, that's the Hotjar, and then we have a link to FontAwesome right here. And that should be working. I don't know why it wouldn't, so I am just going to skip that for now, and I'm going to make that process a lot easier so that nobody has to worry about version numbers or anything like that. But it's good that I'm going through that right now. I would debug it in CodePen when I get a chance to do that. But since this local development is really pissing me off, I'm going to end this stream with just a quick little rundown of this new version. But I don't want to do it locally, so I'm going to deploy to staging and then do it on staging. So it'll be about a probably 5-10 minute break while I deploy this, and then we will run through that real quick because I'm going to clip that out and turn it into an individual video. So I'm just going to say changed global to Bonsai settings and added icons to dashboard. Version 10.7.3. All right, that's good. Now we're just going to come into our scripts, look at staging. We are executing all of these commands. That looks good. Just double check that this has fetched the origin. Now come into our scripts directory and run staging.sh. Now as a developer, this is how you hard code and deploy changes. But a Bonsai customer that's not a developer would never have to do anything like this. And I'll be back in a few minutes when it's done. All right. Now I am going to mess that staging site all up, so I'll replace the database later. But yeah, it'll be a lot faster on the staging server because that is a completely different machine than the one that I'm streaming from. But it looks like everything's being slow. We don't have any like timeouts or anything, did we? No, everything was good. What's going on here? What? Alright, well, if your site ever comes up with this site can't be reached, which I don't know that I've ever ran into this. Let's check the production site. That's all good. We'll do a hard refresh. That's so strange. Well, my next step would probably be trying to SSH into it. So I'm going to come here and say SSH web at staging.bonsai.so. I've been having this weird issue where I have to like reboot the server, but it looks like something's maybe loading now. No. Operation timed out. What in the world? I'm going to come into DigitalOcean, come into my server. You can see the usage has gone up, but I'm going to turn it off, which I wouldn't really recommend doing on a production site, but you can do it on a staging site and not risk too much unless you have a tight deadline. You don't want to risk anything, but you should have backups enabled and all that. Just switching it off and back on again. There is a way to do that from the command line, but if the server is not working connecting through SSH, then this is the easier way to do it. And do we have something here? There we go. Okay, that was weird. I think that might have happened once, like maybe a month ago, so if that becomes persistent, I'm gonna have to look into that. But let's see if those updates took place. So I come in here, log in. Okay, it says Bonsai settings, so that's all good. Alright, I'm gonna cover that all again just now that I know it's working. Alright, the sun is setting in a few minutes, and it looks like it's a pretty good sunset tonight, and I want to catch it, so I'm going to make this very quick and concise. So, you have a new bonsai site, you want to customize it. I'm going to run you through it real quick. Let's say this is your bonsai site. It might look a little different depending on which plan you have. You might not have these sections right here. But what is going on? Let's close out of some stuff. Try and free up some space on the computer. Wish I could close out of OBS. Can't close out Spotify. I don't really need the local version working anymore, so I'm just going to say vagrant halt, and then we'll be able to close out of this yarn run start process. CPU usage though. Yeah, we gotta wait for that to go down a little bit. I'm going to shut off my camera as well so it's not broadcasting that. That'll save a little bit. Okay, that's finally done. Alright, let's try that one more time. So, the sun is set in a few minutes. I want to give a really quick and concise version before the sun sets, because last tutorial I did a pretty in-depth how to customize your site, but we've changed a few things, we've built some easier ways to do it, so I'm just going to run through it real quick. You have a bonsai site. It's going to look similar to this depending on what plan you have. It might look a little different, but you want to come in here and you want to start editing all of it, right? We're going to start by logging in right up here. I think I might have mistyped my password. No. Alright, first things first, you'll probably want to come into Bonsai settings right down here in the sidebar. And right here you have logo. Now this is an SVG. You'll probably want to talk to some type of graphic designer or something to get this SVG, and you'll also want to optimize it. We'll be available if you have any questions about that, and I'll probably do a separate video on how to do that later on. But that's where you control your logo. The head right here is where you would control any analytics snippets that you want to put up here, say like a Facebook tracking pixel for advertising, Google Analytics. I'm using Hotjar at the moment. You'd put that all up here. Under modals, this will control a modal window. Currently, let me pull this up. This is, I believe, the preview one. Oh, now that I'm logged in, it won't show it to me. but when you do see a demo, this is the window that pops up. I have a video playing in it with a little demo and stuff, some text. You can customize that one in here. Nav bar, this is going to control these links up here and which pages you want. So customizing the pages, if you want to change these, you would actually do that under pages right here, and then you would come and find the page that you're looking for, say like explore, come in here, you could change the title, or you go in and edit the page itself. Now I covered that way more in depth on the last one, but you can just check those on or off if you don't want to use them right here. Just with a simple checkbox and click update. Now footer is the same thing. You can control some of these footer links in the bottom, but you can also control the social media links and icons. I covered that more in depth on the last one, but you come in here, this would be like your Instagram URL, your YouTube, and then this is the corresponding icon that it's using. And I covered how to go into FontAwesome. Just gonna cover it one more time briefly here. You go under icons, you select version 5.15.4, and then you can search for these icons. Now, we just covered this early in this tutorial. You won't have access to all of them unless you enabled it. So I'm going to cover that in a later tutorial as well. But those are all the icons. You can also put an SVG in there if you want. This is the footer logo. So that's what's all the way down here. And that's it for like the main Bonsai settings. Now if you want to edit the home page, we're going to go into pages. We're going to go into home. This keeps getting out of order, but this will be found under pricing reviews. So it goes hero, explore, pricing, reviews, FAQ, which is, if I go incognito, this was how a guest would see it. You might want to use the same trick while you're editing. So this is the hero up here. You can edit all of this and the buttons. All this stuff is not editable yet. It will be soon down the road. But then you have pricing right here. Ooh, I guess explore is, oh, it just has a couple little things you can change at the moment. It's not fully editable. But pricing is fully editable. You can come in here and change everything. So you have tier 1 and tier 2. That's how it's broken down. These are 1, 2, and 3, and then you have tiers 4 and 5. Now the cool thing with tiers 4 and 5, where did this go? Is if you want to remove them, you can. So you can come in, and I'm just going to remove the name. Click update. And just removing the name alone should remove tier 4. Oops. Once again, need to go incognito. See, tier 4 is gone. You can do the same thing with tier 5 if you just remove the name. And then we have Web3 CTA, which is right here where it says have a crypto wallet. So if you take that out, you can change that to word it differently, but if you remove this, it will remove the entire option to sign in with a crypto wallet. Now under FAQ form, we have contact heading and all the questions and answers. So right down here, you can change this and this, all of these boxes. And I believe you can also remove those if you don't want them. So if you do all of that on the home page, that will change just the home page. In the future, there's going to be some other pages that you can do this on if you want to add these sections and have individual pages with different copy or different pricing, different features, stuff like that. Then you would do it on a different page than the home page. So this is for the home page alone. That gets us most of the way. And yeah, we'll go more into this stuff later, but that should be a good start. So that'll be the end of today's stream. Much love, my friends, and I will see you around. Let me just say goodbye with the camera.